All right. Okay, we are live. Hello, Nurse Coach Tech Support fam. I am here again with another featured member interview. So, for those of you, I'll just do a quick backstory here. For those of you who don't know me or are new to this Facebook group, this community, I'm Sean Arsenault. I'm a board certified nurse coach and I'm a tech guru. People come to me with all of the tech questions. This is literally something I nerd out on all the time. That's why I created this beautiful community, Nurse Coach Tech Support, because I just saw how much nurses were struggling with tech and figured I would create a space for people to ask questions and not feel stupid. And I do this inside of my membership as well. I have a paid membership called Nurse Coach Tech Mastery, where I help nurse coaches struggle with like the technology side of their business. And we have a lot of fun in that community. And I'm interviewing today one of my members, Mary Kay Johnson. I'm doing a series of these live interviews with current members of my private membership, and just really, really excited to have her share her experience. So thanks, Mary Kay, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell us first a little bit about you, about how you got started in nurse coaching and like where your practice was before joining the membership.
I have been a nurse for almost 4 decades, working the majority of that time in the pediatric world, mostly newborn ICU with the tiny babies.
Oh,
So I can speak
bless
premature
you.
baby.
My baby was in the NICU and I loved all of the nurses there. Oh,
Yes,
you guys are
yes.
angels.
I speak premature baby. I don't speak tech. No, I mean,
Right, right.
yeah. So before I've been a nurse coach since the first of the year and
Awesome.
have struggled a lot with the technology. Working for 38 years in the hospital, you go in, it's all there for you. You don't have to worry about any of the behind the scenes things. And setting my business up had been a really big struggle for me because I'm of the generation that, I didn't start doing computers until college. And then it was still
Mm,
the cards. So tech has been a difficult thing for me. And when I first heard of you, and I thought, oh, yes, she nerds out on this. So starting just looking at the first thing that I did was your Practice Better setup,
yeah,
and it made a world of difference. Before then, I was
yeah.
just like, looked at it, and this was my look. What do I do now? My husband would come in the office and, what is that banging? And I said, oh, that's me banging my head against the desk because I can't figure this out. And
Oh
with
no.
your Practice Better setup, I was able to have two windows open, and I would go through a couple of you go through a couple of pages, and I would
Hmm.
go and do it. And then I'd come back and go through
Yeah.
a couple of pages, and then I would go and do it. And it's like,
Hmm.
this makes so much sense. It gave
Mm.
me the confidence that I could do it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to hear you say that. It gave me the confidence that I could do it because tech can be like really overwhelming whenever people first get started, especially when they're diving into platforms like Practice Better and Google Workspace and even like social media. Um, and then because there's so much and people get so overwhelmed, they kind of go, I can't do this. I can't like,
Right.
I don't have the ability to even take the next step further because I'm so stuck right now. So I love that this gave you the confidence to move forward and the confidence to like figure it out. Cause I know in the past too, members have just been like, this one module gave me the chance to feel confident doing something else and gave me the like push to try out things and test things and experiment and not get frustrated whenever it doesn't
Right.
work out because there's always a solution. So I love that you said that.
Yes.
um what is something that has really like okay, what's something you've created in your practice that the membership helped you create?
I have a landing page that people can go to that actually has pretty picture on it. It's got some wording that actually makes sense instead of just a white sheet with black
Yeah.
writing on it.
Yeah.
That just to have the confidence, and I've been able to go into other things and find pictures, your Canva, your how to do
Yeah.
Canva. Oh my gosh, I've used that not only just in my business, but in
Yeah.
printing out flyers for a craft fair. And the person's like, that's so
Nice.
cute. How did you do that? And I'm like, I did it. I did it myself. I was able to go in and it's like, I know there's got to be something in this membership on Canva. And I went through and I found it and
There sure is.
was able to create something that wasn't drab and boring and actually had someone going, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. How did you do that? Which
Oh,
then
yeah.
built my confidence up because it's like, I did it.
Yeah, like you can make pretty things, you can be creative, you can actually have fun while doing it. Canva is one of my favorite platforms. I absolutely love Canva. There's so much you can do with it. And people don't realize like all of the functionalities of Canva, just like people don't realize all the functionalities of Practice Better too. Like there's so much stuff you can do inside of these platforms. And if you're going to be paying for them, why not utilize all of the different ways that you can like optimize your practice workflow and all of that and your content creation and your flyer creation. So that's really cool that that the Canva part was something that's really helped you, because I know that a lot of nurse coaches use Canva. One of the things that I really tried to do was think about, okay, what are all of the different things that nurse coaches specifically use? Because I mean, you can go to like you can like purchase a content creation course and like go to all of these other coaches and businesses and get their input on what the best platforms are to use. But nurse coaches are a very specific group of people, and we kind of take a little bit of like all different types of marketing tools and things like that. So I figured this would be a really good place to throw all that stuff in there, including the Canvas stuff.
Yes. Yeah. But I'll give you another example. There was on another thing that I was doing, I was having trouble with it. And the person behind that particular thing said, oh, well, let's share screens and I'll show you how to do this. And basically she did it for me. And then I wasn't able to replicate it. You know, it's like I got the one thing done with her help.
Yeah.
But then when I went to do it again, I couldn't find where she had gone to, what she had clicked on. And with the stuff that you have in the membership, like I said, I can have two screens open and I can see, sometimes I don't see exactly where you went to click. So I back it up. It's like, oh, that's where she went. Okay, now I can go second screen and do it for myself. So everything in the membership, I'm able to watch and replicate and do it myself, which is that's how I learn. That's how I learn.
Yeah. 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 I mean, think about like even in nursing that like I can watch someone do something so many times over and over again, but until I actually do it myself, that's when it clicks. And that's also another reason why I built the membership the way that it is because I don't want to just like do everything for you. Like I don't have the time and energy to do that for sure. And it doesn't empower you guys to actually like figure stuff out and actually know how to run your business in the background and know all of the back end things to put in place. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. I love that kind of like empowered you to start doing stuff on your own and figuring stuff out on your own. You know, there's a lot of aspects of this membership. There's so many different things, right? There's the library of resources, the videos, the templates, the calls. What has been the most valuable part for you in the membership? Out of all of those different little aspects that I have in there?
I think that there's two things that have equal value that I think are the most valuable. And I appreciated your comment when I first started in, because I'm the type of person that will go down the rabbit hole. And your comment was, there's a lot of stuff here. It's here for when you need it. And that's what I appreciate. I appreciate it was kind of like it was permission to not go through everything at once, but it was also a
Yes.
reminder to not go through everything at once. It's here. So there's times that I'm like, I try to figure something out. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Oh yeah, let me go in and see, and I can type in and search, and it's like, oh, there it is. Now I can do
Hmm.
it. So that's really valuable to me because, if I'm 7 o'clock in the morning, well, now with the baby, you're up at 7 o'clock in the morning, but you don't appreciate me, calling you at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Right, right.
Yeah, but it's there for me whenever I want it. And then the other
Hmm.
thing that I really find a lot of value in is when you have your tech calls and your workshops,
Hmm.
actually being there with you and other people, because sometimes I may have a question, but I don't realize I have it. And someone
Yeah.
else is in that call, and we're kind of thinking along those same lines, and they ask the question. I'm like, that's what it is. So that the ability to kind of have you right there sitting with
Hmm.
me is very
Yeah.
is worth a membership in itself to me.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. I think it's also really useful to like have to hear other people's questions because I mean there might be things that you don't even think about or you don't even realize that you need help with and then somebody says something and you're like, "Oh yeah, I don't even know how to do that either and I've been wondering how to do that." So, it is really helpful on like the Q&A calls and the workshops and things like that. Even if you're not quite at the stage of your business where you're
Mhm.
utilizing some of this stuff, it's nice to be exposed to it and to see how to do things ahead of time, just so it doesn't seem so foreign to you whenever you do
Right.
get there, right?
Yes. And I've gone back a couple of times, like you said, that some of those questions are, my practice right now is not as big as your practice. I'm still
Hmm.
building up. And some of those questions that are asked are down the line for me. And I've gotten a couple of times I've gotten to that point and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this question being asked. And I go back and I
Yeah.
find it and it's like, yes, this is how I solve it.
So good. So you've kind of been able to like come full circle, right? Like you're not in that stage of practice whenever you first got in and then as your practice has grown as you've started to work more and more in your business, you're starting to notice, oh, these are the things that they talked about at the
Mhm.
very beginning and I now like I didn't really focus on it before, but I kind of like kept that in the back of my head and now I can go back and actually like utilize it.
Yes, yes.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. Is there anything that you are really excited about moving forward as a member or maybe something that you have been wanting to dive into but haven't yet, you've given your permission to not dive into yet?
The thing I haven't dived in yet, I'm still right now, most of my like social media is on Facebook. And every
Yeah.
once in a while, something will creep over to Instagram. I'm still not sure how that happens. But I
Yeah.
know you've got that, um, there's a module on Instagram and how to do reels. And I think you've
Yeah.
got a workshop coming up on that.
I do. Yeah, our
Yeah,
workshop for this month is Instagram Reels.
yeah,
So we're like there's an Instagram Reels boot camp inside of the membership like
right.
library. And then I figured it would be kind of fun to just like talk a little bit more about Instagram because it does update all the time. It's always changing. Social media is always changing. But it would kind of be fun to like have everyone create a reel on the call with us. So
Yeah. So
that's going to
I'm
be
really
really, really
looking
cool.
forward to, it's like, okay, I've got Facebook mostly figured out, and I'm noticing that there's a lot of interaction that people have on Instagram, and it
Mhm.
scares me. It doesn't terrify me anymore, but it scares me. But just knowing that that's there and you've got a workshop coming up, it's like, okay, I think I'm ready for this now.
Yeah, yeah. And like even though platforms like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all of these other social media platforms, even though they do have a lot of nuances and a lot of like details that you kind of don't even realize that they have, you can start super simple. Like the reel
Mhm.
that we're all going to create at our workshop is going to be real, real simple. But it'll give you that confidence to like explore more. Okay, what else can I do in reels? What else can I do in stories?
Right.
Because I think that's where people get overwhelmed is like there is so much stuff. So just start with one thing, and that's I think how this membership really helps is I get you focusing on like one simple thing that you
Right.
can do that can still look pretty and reach people and cause engagement, and then from there you can kind of layer on the more complex things.
Right. Right. And that's the biggest thing for me is it has given me that confidence that I can I can do this. I did, the practice better one was getting that set up was the big boost for me. But it's like, all right, I
Hmm.
did this and I like your teaching style. It really speaks to me. It works for me. And it's like I can do this again with the next thing. And I go in and I try and I give it a very big, a long try. It's like, all right. And then if
Hmm.
I get stuck, I've been able to, just throw that question out there. It's like, oh my God, what am I supposed to
Hmm.
do with this Gmail? I heard about, it's like the Google Workspace. I'd heard about it, but I really didn't think it's like, well, this is why all of my Gmails getting sent back to spam. And you said this is
Yeah,
where to go.
yeah.
And I went there and then I ended up losing my email and it took me a few days to figure it out. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try one more time. And if I can't figure this out, I'm going to put a message on the page there and see if someone can tell me. And I was able to figure it out. And I
Yeah.
just needed to click one more place. And so it's that
Yeah.
confidence that, I can try and I can do it. And if I do hit a roadblock, there's somebody like you, Sean, that nerds out on it that I can,
Yeah.
can say, well, go here and
Yeah. Even if I don't know the answer to things for y'all, like, you guys post questions inside of our private members, like Facebook group all the time.
Mhm.
And sometimes I don't know the answers to like the things that you're asking me, but it's really like for me, I quickly can
Right.
find the answers for you, right? And I can also kind of troubleshoot too. Like,
Mhm.
um, and it's of course not every nurse coach is super fast at figuring stuff out tech wise, and that's
Right.
why this membership exists, right? um so I love that it'll continue to push you to figure things out on your own. And honestly, like by the time that you are like a year from now, right, a year from being in this membership, you'll have mastered so many different platforms that you probably never would have if you weren't in the membership, right?
Exactly. Because I'm not afraid to try because
Mm.
there is something there to help me if I totally don't know, like with Instagram, I'm like, I don't know how my Facebook stuff ends up on Instagram. I don't know what magic has been done there. I'm not doing it. But I know that you've got the module in there, you're going to have the workshop. And then, so now I've got the confidence to, all right, I can try this where my
Hmm.
Facebook page was private until
Yeah, I
everybody
remember you
told me
saying
you've
that.
got to open
Yeah.
it up. You can't keep it private. You're not going to do any good in your business if you keep your Facebook page private. And I'm like, that was like tearing my heart out. And now I'm
Mm.
like, okay, I think I can try Instagram. So
Yeah. Yeah, I want to highlight something that you just said there as I was not afraid to try. And
mhm,
yes, I have a lot of technical, like logistical answers for you guys inside of the membership, but it's also a mindset thing too. Um, being like having that fear of trying because you're afraid of getting overwhelmed, you're afraid of getting stuck, and then like people make that mean something about themselves as a business owner, as a nurse coach. And when you can kind of shift your mindset the way that you have in that, like, I can try something, and if it doesn't work, I have support, I have the resources to figure it out too.
right. Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Well, Mary Kay, where can people find you? I know that you've got do you have like spaces for one-on-one clients? Like what's going on in your world? Where can people check you out?
Um, I have 3 spaces for one-on-one in September.
Perfect.
And then I'm also doing group with Positive Intelligence. So it's a mental fitness boot camp. And
Awesome.
I've got space for in September, I've got space for one more group of 5 people in my mental fitness boot camp. And that's a 12-week
Cool.
program also.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'll put all of those links in the comments for those of you who are watching and want to check any of that out. Mary Kay, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being on this call with me and just sharing your experience. I think it's going to inspire so many nurse coaches to really just like, for those who are especially struggling with the tech side of things, to join the membership and be a part of that community and get support. Yeah, it's just created so many awesome things for, I know you and of several of other of my members. So if hearing about Mary Kay's journey and seeing what she's created and the confidence that she's created in her practice excites you and lights you on fire, and you would love to create something in your own business, but aren't really sure like where to go, where to start, I can help you. We can help you. I would love to invite you to join the Nurse Coach Tech Mastery membership. The doors are open. You can join at any time. I'll drop the link for that in the comments as well. So thank you all of you for listening, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thanks again, Mary Kay.
Bye.